I wanted to give a brief apology first and foremost to the Red Wings fan base who frequents this channel, because I feel like I haven't been talking about your team all too much. There have just been other stories that have clogged up my video log, and as a result, we were pushing this topic over and over and over a few days after a few days, and now we're finally talking about it about a week after I thought I was initially going to be discussing this entire idea. So let's go over the Detroit Red Wings and their entire coaching hunt, as an article on Detroit Hockey Now goes over the projected names that reportedly have talked to the Wings in these types of conversations. So this piece was published by Kevin Allen 4 days ago on May 29th, 2022. The article will be linked in the description. The title of the piece gives away one of the names that apparently the Red Wings have talked to, but there are some more that are included throughout the piece as well. Barry Trotz reportedly has talked to the Red Wings. Hockey Night in Canada's Elliot Friedman is reporting that Trotz had an interview with the Wings for their head coaching position. Now, if you were keeping up with the entire Red Wings, Islanders coaching conundrum, you would have seen the video we made last, where we talked about how the New York Islanders reportedly fired Barry Trotz because they wanted to promote Lane Lambert, and they wanted to keep Lane Lambert from going over to the Red Wings. Now, Lambert, even though he was a disciple of Trotz, he had won a Stanley Cup with the Washington Capitals, now he's the head coach of the New York Islanders, he was never really a guy that played the same sort of systems that Barry did. Barry, despite the fact that his teams went to the Eastern Conference Finals, what was it like? Okay, you do the 2018 Washington Capitals, so there's one. You skip over to 2020, where the Islanders went there, that's two, and 2021, where the Islanders were also there 3 times in the past, 18, 19, 20, 21, 4 seasons. Barry Trotz has made the conference finals. And he does it because the system that he plays, the defensive orientation that he gets his teams to go out there and execute, has usually been pretty solid. However, there was a desire for the Islanders to shift to a more offensive-leaning style, which is what Lambert goes out there and provides. Lo and behold, though, Barry Trotz is still the top free agent fish on the market when it comes to coaches. And with the Red Wings having Jeff Blashill no longer at the helm of their coaching staff, it would make sense if Steve Yzerman is interviewing the guy who is probably at the top of the food chain here in Barry Trotz. Let's go over to reading what Kevin Allen has to say here on Detroit Hockey Now. Friedman reports the Red Wings are among the 4 teams Barry Trotz has spoken to about their head coach vacancy. The Jets, the Flyers, and the Golden Knights are the others. Friedman also said that Trotz may interview with the Dallas Stars. Then there's a little bit more going over this entire thing. From what I understand, Barry Trotz has let it be known to teams that he is not in a hurry to make his choice. He won't make his decision until he's sure it's right for himself and his family. Now, Barry Trotz is just one of the names available, and I've seen a lot of Red Wings fans saying that they probably would prefer somebody else, because it's not that Trotz is not a good coach, it's the question as to whether or not Trotz is the right coach for the Red Wings as a young, rebuilding team who is going forward into entering that competitive territory over the next few seasons. Barry Trotz is a proven winner who knows how to play a veteran lineup and play a veteran-style game. Is that really what the Red Wings need at this stage of their development? Do you need Larkin and Bertuzzi and all these other guys to be playing a defensively-minded two-way system, or would you rather have guys like Lucas Raymond go out there and just say, screw it, score as many points as you can, here's an offensive guidebook, let's see what you can do? The Red Wings are also said to be interested, according to this article, in John Tortorella, Rick Tocchet, Tampa Bay Lightning assistant Derek Lalonde, and Trotz, among others. Friedman's Trotz reporting marks the first time someone has said Yzerman interviewed anyone. Now, I like that last sentence. Yzerman interviewing people? Whoa, that's the first time we heard about that happening, because the guy is so secretive, he keeps everything so tight to his chest, that even though you could say, hey, the Red Wings are interested in Tortorella, did you hear? There's no official wording from anybody saying, oh yeah, no, Yzerman interviewed them. But either way, let's go over each of these 3 coaching candidates aside from Barry Trotz and highlight what they could potentially be for the Red Wings. John Tortorella is a very funny one, because if you talk about the style of hockey that Trotz plays, Tortorella is, okay, how do I say this? Because as a Canucks fan who did watch the entire Tortorella year go on and who has kept up with the Blue Jackets during their tenure with him as well, Tortorella plays his team, or at least to me it feels like he wants to play his teams in the way that Barry Trotz plays his teams. It's just, for Tortorella, there's an element of aggression that is added there because he's never really been the guy to be the most lax coach out there on the ice. I'm not questioning the goodness in his heart. We know that John Tortorella, when it comes down to it, he is a good dude who talks about some important issues, and he's a very kind person. It's just his views on certain aspects of the game, like the skill side of things, Trevor Zegras and Jay Beagle, that comes to mind, as well as the willingness to yell in his players' faces and everything. It's something that I think is a very particular acquired taste, and I don't really know if that's something that I think would benefit the likes of Raymond and Edvinsson and Seider if they got that tough love approach so early on in their careers. We know that the tough love approach does work. I mean, the Red Wings had a lot of success under Mike Babcock. It's just, this is not that same Red Wings team with guys like Datsuk and Zetterberg and Lidstrom and veterans who know what it takes to win, and guys who have developed and matured and became stars over the course of years. This is just a new team that is here with some younger players that could really benefit from what I think is a lot more of an approachable and open style of communication between the players and the coach. And so you go over to Rick Tocchet and you talk about what he has done as a member of the Arizona Coyotes. I mean, the Coyotes, they kind of stink, and everybody knows that they have not had the best reputation over the past few years. I mean, Tocchet was the coach of the Lightning before they ended up going to the Stanley Cup Eastern Conference Finals, but it was a pretty significant break that Tocchet had before coming back to coaching that Arizona team. Sure, they made the playoffs once. They beat, who the heck was it? The Nashville Predators in the play-in series in the 2020 bubble, and then they lost in the first round to the Avalanche. Not the best, but still, they were there. And this previous season, he didn't actually have himself a job. So, for Rick Tocchet, there's a lot more to prove here, I think. You gotta remember that the Arizona Coyotes were a pretty bad team the entire time Tocchet was there, so I'm not really too sure how likely it is that he is the guy that runs away with the job. You talk about Derek Lalonde as well, the Tampa Bay assistant coach. This is just kind of funny how Tampa Bay is connected to Detroit in so many ways. Obviously, Yzerman, and then all of the previous trades. You have the Giovanni and Jamel Smith story, the David Savard trade, retained salary, etc. Yzerman's always helping out his old club, so maybe his old club can go out there and help the Wings out with an assistant coach that has been in a pretty good body of success. Derek Lalonde has been with the Tampa Bay Lightning ever since they started really breaking into that top team sort of mold. He wasn't there when they went to the finals in 2015, but in 2018-19, that's when he started out, and he's been there ever since. So he's got 2 Stanley Cups to his name, potentially 3, depending on how the Lightning do in this postseason run against the New York Rangers. But when it comes to Lalonde, obviously just being the guy, the right-hand man to John Cooper, you probably pick up on a few things here and there that are likely to help you out as you transcend to higher levels of NHL coaching stardom. So maybe there's a similar situation with Lane Lambert here with Lalonde. We'll wait and see to find out whether or not Lalonde has some extra teams chomping at the bit here by the time the 2022 playoffs wraps up. So who knows if the Wings are going to get involved with any of these guys, and who knows if the Wings will go out there and have to start somewhat of a bidding war with any other teams for the services of Tortorella, Trotz, or Lalonde. Talk to me in the comments on your thoughts about these 4 coaching candidates and their entire styles. What do you think is the style that fits the Red Wings the most, do you think that sort of style lies with any of these candidates? If so, or if not, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also, just in general, what are your thoughts on these 4 people individually as to whether or not they could benefit the Red Wings and what it is they're trying to build? I still am kind of skeptical as to whether or not Tortorella or Trotz would be the best fit possible, but I definitely would like to see what a Derek Lalonde or a Rick Tocchet could be able to provide. Actually, no, I take that back. I'm really cautious on Tocchet, mostly because of his track record with the Arizona Coyotes, but Lalonde, obviously the body of success with John Cooper and the rest of the Lightning squad make him a lot more of a desirable option in my opinion, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.